How could 2020 possibly get worse? Some sort of large-scale electrical failure would be the icing on the cake. Diarrhea. Widespread. Infectious and without warning. Confirmation that the UG-99 stim rust has spread beyond East Africa/the Middle East to multiple points in Europe, East Asia, and the Americas, permanently threatening the global supply of wheat. It's hurricane season. I live in LA, and today I was thinking the universe could truly duck us by finally having the big one strike this summer. But I guess that's just regional, and not more awful crap for the entire world. A proxy war between any two nations' nuclear powers that turns nuclear. More specifically, since everybody's asking, China vs India. Like what's going on right now? Or the US vs Iran. And finally, American Civil War 2. Anybody remembers post from 3rd of January? It was something like, first day of New Year WW3 starts. Second Australia is on fire. Third day Pope hits woman. What will happen fourth day? And people were joking what terrible crap will happen, and now it's like worst year since 1939. A double pandemic. Well, in the case of my country Chile, we had massive protests since October. Government handled it pretty bad and our economy crippled. Now with the pandemic, again the government mishandled it, and we are having a pretty nasty second wave of infections. Only thing that would make things worse would be one of our recurrent earthquakes. Chile is known for having devastating earthquakes every 10 to 15 years. Last big one near the capital was around 10 years ago. If government mishandles it again, our economy may hurt in a irreparable way. Edit. Kagome embarks CSM. The China/India border situation going from a standoff to a full-on shooting war. YouTube rewind. A world war. Portals to oblivion. A massive meteorite hitting the earth. Calling it now, the second half of 2020 is gonna be the best comeback in history. Starting with a Rocky IV montage. We find evidence of alien life, but it's like the assimilating one from The Thing. If we were stuck in a 2020 time loop. Yellowstone. At least for the USA. For my country, Jacob Zuma somehow makes it back. COVID-20. 2020, after seeing this post. Write that down. Write that down. As far as I know, the Earth is still rotating on its axis. So that could, stop. Not sure, but the first 5 months feels like 5 years. Was talking to my wife about Hong Kong protests and Australia wildfires, and it seems like it was a couple of years ago. I'm watching the US to see how the elections are going. That could really give 2020 the cherry on top. A catastrophic earthquake on the west coast of the US. Random chimp event. It's an election year. It could get a lot worse. The government taking away more internet privacy. Someone makes time travel and changes the timeline. You just had to ask, didn't you? You will go down in history as the person who jinxed humanity to our annihilation. The magnetic poles are going to shift. American Civil War 2. 0. 3 ancient men found frozen in a pillar in a cavern, with strange masks made of stone scattered around the place. Saying it can't get worse. The phrase is taboo. Everyone dies. Coronavirus vaccine goes nationwide and 2 weeks later 99.9% of recipients become zombies. Several X-class solar flares that completely destroy global telecommunications, household electronics, and power grids all over the world, thereby knocking humanity back to the Stone Age. Wait. Maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing to have happen. Delete this before they see it. Israel declare war on Palestine. China does anything. The San Andreas fault line goes off. Yellowstone has a full-scale eruption. Aliens. Zombies. A huge solar flare. America has a civil war. Lord Voldemort returns. It rains spiders in places other than Brazil. A Sharknado. Asteroid impact. Nuclear war. Rick Sanchez shows up. The immortal Queen of England dies. America spirals completely out of control. Like total anarchy. You could step on some Lego. America just straight up becomes a fascist nation. Without even trying to hide it. Second wave of coronavirus turns out much worse than the first wave. Economic collapse because of a second wave. Yellowstone erupts. World War III erupts. Trump is re-elected and wastes no time in using his second term to get all the things he didn't do in his first. Bolsonaro goes full dictator. The Crew Dragon burns up on re-entry. Trump re-elected in November.